Good morning, YouTube. So with today's video, I'm going to give you my top 10 summer cheapies for 2024. This is my specialty, cheapies. I do mostly affordable fragrances on this channel, but I can be a little bit bougie and I can appreciate a good niche fragrance. But with my lists, I try to give you something as unique as possible. There are a few fragrances that might be a little bit more popular, but for the most part, with my channel, you know what to expect. First one came out last year in 2023, and that's going to be Calvin Klein CK1 Reflections. I wore this earlier in the week when it was really hot. Like, I was testing out a fragrance, Curly Fragrances Femme Fatale or Attraction Fatale, and it was really hot this past week. And like one day, no way, I wasn't going to wear it. I was going to wear this. This just helped elevate my mood. This is very fresh. It is musky, quite aromatic. So you're gonna get like apparently like ice cube, like not the wrapper, but like ice. There's also like green tea, but on Parfumo it's like an iced green tea. On Fragrantica it's like ice cube and green tea. But there's also like different citruses. There's musk, of course, some woods, and a very energizing ginger. This will leave that pep to your step when it's really hot. In this entire video, this is one of the most mood boosting fragrances that I'm going to be giving you guys. This is like a unisex fragrance. In my opinion, it probably leans a little bit more towards the guys, but ladies, you could rock it if you really want to. This is just an everyday casual kind of fragrance. So if you're a young person and like you're not in school or anything like that, like at the moment, this is a scent for you. But if you're a guy who's working, you can actually wear this to the office. Longevity, unfortunately, not the best. A lot of these CK1 flankers, summer releases, not the most long lasting. You're gonna get about 4 hours tops. Next one is gonna be one of the more popular ones and most certainly one of the more older ones in this list, Lacoste Essential. So it is essential that you have this fragrance in a list like this, right? I know, put in the gif, the monkey hitting the drum gif, I know. I am the king of dad jokes. I'm all about the cheese at this day and age. But this fragrance though, and I hate that the bottle, the cap broke, this is a very fresh, aromatic, green herbal fragrance that is actually quite nice. This might resonate a little bit more with the older guys because it's an older fragrance compared to this one. This is ageless. Some people might say it's like pretty much like a young man's fragrance. The scent itself is ageless. This, in some ways, I would have to agree, but because it's such an older fragrance, it just might resonate with the older guys out there. But this is an everyday casual fragrance for something like this, even for work. So there's like tangerine, there is bergamot, there is a green tomato leaf, cassia, a little bit of pepper. Apparently there's a little bit of rose, which I don't really get, but I do get the green garden-like or the green herbalness from it. I also get like that tangerine. I do get the patchouli and the sandalwood. This is a really nice understated fragrance because the performance, or I should say, the projection is not a banger. I find where I'm at in life, I don't want a fragrance that's gonna fill the room. That's just not who I am. And it never really was because my personality is more like introverted in a sense. But this is a fragrance for you, not for everybody around. And if you are gonna get a compliment on this one here, people are gonna get into your space. Longevity, no more than 6 hours. Number 3 is gonna be from a Ferrari fragrance that is still available. Surprisingly, because they are all discontinued, but you can get this on FragranceNet. And I believe that there's one other website, but I'm not too sure. I can't remember, but that's gonna be Ferrari Red Power Ice 3. This is a very fresh and very aromatic fragrance, so you are going to get the typical citruses. There's also some cassia, some cardamom, and some coriander to kind of like warm it up, but also energize it. There's going to be some musk, of course, some watery notes, a little bit of iris to add a little bit, just a little bit of a powdery undertone, and apparently there's amber, which I don't get. It's pretty much just a very fresh aromatic scent with a little bit of spices, a little bit of aquatics, a little bit of iris, and that's pretty much it. This for me is an ageless fragrance, but I find that this is a fragrance for someone who is pretty much settled down in life, who's got like the family, who's got a stable job, who's got the mortgage and all that. That's what I kind of pictured this fragrance would go for. Longevity, this is going to be about 6 hours. Fragrance number 4 is a little bit more of an old school scent, but it's actually not old. It came out in 2021, so it has a little bit of a vintage vibe, but it's very modern. And that's going to be Azzaro Pour Homme Cologne Intense. This is heavy in lavender, heavy in lime, but also mastic. So it does have that old school DNA. Like, I find that this lineup, the Pour Homme lineup, is a little bit more mature than the Chrome lineup or even the Wanted lineup. But this is just heavy and bright, energizing lime, fresh lavender. And that mastic adds a little bit of a resin or a balsamic-y feel. For me, this is what an older man would wear, but if you're a young guy, you can absolutely rock it. I just feel that if you're a younger guy, you're more of an older soul. You're a lot more mature than what your age really is. But this, just an everyday fragrance. This, I would say, is actually more classier, more versatile than the previous 3. And in my opinion, to really pull this one off, you have to have a little bit of a sense of style. Longevity, 4 to 6 hours. Number 5, this one is going to be more popular and a lot more mainstream than the other ones in this list, minus probably this one here. But that's going to be Hugo Boss Hugo Reversed. This has made a lot of lists when it comes to my channel, including other channels out there. There's a lot of grapefruit and a lot of bergamot to this one here. There's a little bit of Haitian vetiver and as well rosemary. The rosemary does add a little bit of an herbal touch to it, but it's very bright in citruses. It's citrus heavy, and that's going to be the most dominant note. Then it's going to be that vetiver and that rosemary for like second place. If it wasn't for the vetiver, this probably wouldn't last more than 2 hours. Longevity, not great. You're going to get about 5 to 6 hours at the most, which really ain't that bad. But this is an everyday fragrance. Ageless, high school, all the way to a grandfather. And this is a great work fragrance. This, and most certainly this, the best work fragrances so far. Because that this is a summer list, you have to have a good fig and coconut fragrance. Guess 1981 Indigo. This is a great scent that is very fig heavy, coconut, but you're also going to get a little bit of sage, going to get some iris that does add a little bit of a powdery undertone. There's some musk, some cedar, or some sort of woods, I should say. Lavender, tonka, bergamot, and so on. It's pretty much just fig and coconut with some lavender and that iris. This is a really nice, relaxing fragrance, and this is marketed towards the men. In my opinion, this is a unisex fragrance. It does come across as a little bit youthful, but if you have, like, if you're an older guy like myself who just has a youthful spirit, this is something that you will probably really like. And it does have that tropical vibe because of the coconut. The coconut itself is milky, it's a little bit creamy. The iris does add a little bit of a powdery undertone, and that fig leaf does add that green juiciness to it. Really, really nice. This is more of an everyday casual kind of fragrance that is perfect for this hot summer days. Longevity, 6 hours. Next one, this is the epitome of sex-y. Like, this is a sexy fragrance, and it got actually a lot more attention back in the day because this is an older fragrance, came out in 2002, but the warm spices of cardamom and nutmeg, oh my lord. Jill Sander Sun for Men. Cardamom, nutmeg has got musk, a little bit of rosemary, and definitely that bergamot or some sort of citrus. Really, really nice. It's just a night out fragrance in my opinion. This is perfect for dates, close quarters, Netflix and chill, rumpity pumpity, whatever you want to call it. This is a great scent for that, for you and like your significant other, or just if you're into like one night stands. They're really gonna like this. And from what I remember, and I've only worn this maybe 4 or 5 times, and it's been a good year since I worn it. Longevity is probably like the better of the entire catalog here, with about 8 hours. Let's go with another sexy fragrance, and in my opinion, it's very much like this one here, a bit of a nail biter. Calvin Klein CK Free. This came out in, I think, 2008 or 2011, between those dates. But this is sexy. You're gonna get coffee, there is suede, there's tobacco, and there's definitely that star anise or cardamom. I think it's star anise itself, but there is that warm spicy that does add that sex appeal. There's also jackfruit, there's juniper berries, and other woods. It's nice. This is like, in my opinion, a night out fragrance. Very much like this. If you want to wear it to school, by all means. I think it's a great school fragrance as well. Not so much a work scent, unless like you work in a strip club sort of thing, but not really an office fragrance in my opinion. Just, it's a very casual scent. Again, perfect for nights out. Longevity is gonna be a little bit better, but its spotting ranges anywhere from 5 to 7 hours. The last two fragrances I would say are the classiest in this list, minus this one, but I find that the last two are classier than the Azzaro. Givenchy Insensé Ultramarine. This is the oldest one in this list, as it came out in 1994. And this is not a fragrance for everybody, because it does smell like from a different era. Not the 90s, it smells a little bit more older, because this has a lot of florals, and it kind of smells like a soapy floral. So some of the florals to this one here are gonna be carnation, lily of the valley, magnolia. There is iris to add a little bit of a powdery undertone. There is also a watermelon. There is black currant, galbanum to add that green herbal nuance. Apparently there's tobacco, which I don't really get. And there's gonna be, I believe, some sort of woods and musk. This is definitely old school. So this is not gonna be for everybody. If you are a younger guy and you like this, I gotta state, you are definitely way more mature than this 47-year-old man right here, because this is not one of my favorites. I don't mind it, but it's definitely not one of my favorites. Why is it in this list? Because I have to give you guys something very different. This is very different. This never makes the cut. And for a classy cheapie, this is something that you might want to look into. This is like something like this or more. You have to have that sense of style. No white t-shirt and jeans, no tank top and flip-flops and shorts. If you do, okay, whatever, but this is like suit and tie or business casual in my opinion. Longevity, 6 to 7 hours. And last but not least, one of my favorites in this list, and probably like one of the best blind buys that I've done. I don't know if I got it this year or last year, but definitely was just floored me, just wowed me. Rochas Mustache Original 1949. This does smell a little old school, but with a modern touch, because I believe that this is like a remake of the original 1949, but this is a 2018 release. This has some neroli. It's got a lot of lavender, a lot of lemon, a lot of musk, a little bit of violet to add a little bit, just a little bit of a powdery undertone, and of course, some oak moss. So it does have that classical feel, but very modern, very fresh, old school fashion, aromatic. This is a gentleman's fragrance. If you like barbershop fragrances, this is one that I think that you're gonna like. And for me, a lot of barbershop fragrances lean more towards like the springtime. This is definitely like more of a summer scent. And this sense of style, business casual, if it's like casually, something like this with a nice pair of like dressy shorts, all the way to a suit and tie. This is like daytime semi-formal type of style, all right? Longevity, 6 to 7 hours. And guys, that is my top 10 summer cheapies for 2024. Any reviews that I've done on these, they will all be down in the description box below, just in case you want to check out, you want something a little bit more detailed, a little bit more informative as well. So check those out down below. And what videos to watch next? Well, if you want to see years prior of summer cheapies, they might overlap list-wise, but check out right here. And if you like this very video, please leave me one of these. Thank you for the time, take care, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody.